here, your own personal fitness trainer. As your personal fitness trainer, just like I would on my actual training clients that come to my studio that I train, to all you in YouTube land, I'm your fitness trainer. So I like to do all the things that I do for my clients. And this aspect is something that one of my other subscribers suggested that I do this video, because it is very important and it is something that I do talk to my training clients about. And that is as far as your diet and some things that you might not know about that are really important. And it all comes together because it is about exercising, and it's about doing the right exercising, but it's also about what are you eating, what are some of the foods you're taking in. So as a personal trainer, the organization that I have my certification with, as long as I do the continuing education, which I do, and I want to keep doing, they will continue to give me the latest fitness trends. And that's what I'm here to give you, the latest fitness trends. So I want to give you the lowdown on healthy eating and food, because it is very important and you might not know. So I have some notes with me because I don't want to miss something. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is it's going to be the lowdown on processed foods. And I want to read here to you on my sheet exactly what they say here. Alright, so here's what it says. First of all, we want to define what are processed foods. So it says the act of processing, it changes the form of raw ingredients in order to lengthen the shelf life of everything from the prepackaged juice and cake mix, refined bread or sugar. And while not all processing is considered bad, or not all of it is considered negative, the ultra-processed foods have been linked to everything from diabetes, infertility, cancer, and causing weight gain. So, and they say especially foods containing GMOs. So, now I had known about this a long time ago, and I'm here to tell you, I had read a book on it, so I knew a long time ago that food additives and chemicals that are put in foods can make us not only not feel good and get chronic conditions, health conditions, but can also make us gain weight. So I believe that I'm also lean from working out and getting myself to have a high metabolism because of the weight training and my activity level, but also because I don't eat foods with chemical additives. I mean, I do my best not to eat that kind of stuff. So let me give you a little bit more what they say here. So they say, it says, consider this. Many of the processed meat, the seafood, and the poultry that dominate our grocery stores come from industrial factory farms from the United States. And it says, these factory farms raise animals in extremely confined environments that are fed unnatural diets containing large amounts of pesticides, antibiotics, and hormones. And I will say this, as an animal lover that I am, that really bothers me. So, not just for our human sake, but for the animal's sake, I don't like that. And so anyway, and it said it also, of course, endangers human health and our environment. So they say in order to avoid that, of course, your best bet is organic foods, natural organic foods, and the local farmers market. So that's just a tip there on that, and I'll get a little bit more into that for you. So what I'm telling you is, what you need to do is you need to pay close attention to the labels on what you're buying in the grocery store. And here's why. there are so many products out there that say on the product that it's natural or that it's organic. But until you actually read the food label, that is what tells you. They are able to have a lot of products that say it's natural or organic, but you go ahead and read the food label, you will see that is not always the case. So until you become familiar with the product, read all labels and know exactly what you're getting. That's what I do. And once I become familiar with the product, then I know I don't have to keep reading the label. But if I'm going to try something new, I always read the label and I want to know what's in it. So, and bottom line is if you're reading the ingredients and you can't pronounce it, then don't buy it. Because that's telling you right there, that is a chemical. And let's say for an exception, sometimes there'll be something in there that are minerals, like riboflavin, niacin, folic acid. I am familiar with those and I know there's minerals, but one time there was something I saw and I wasn't sure if it was a mineral or not. So I didn't buy it, I waited, and I definitely later looked on the internet and I looked it up to see what it was. So you need to do that because you'd be very surprised what some of the chemicals are that they're putting in our food. And my point is, they do make you gain weight. They not only will make you unhealthy and have chronic problems, health issues, like digestive issues, acid reflux issues, but you also will get food cravings and you will put on weight. For instance, high fructose corn syrup, that is a real no-no. And that one, if you eat products with high fructose corn syrup, not only will it make you gain weight, but you will also get these intense food cravings, and then you're going to wonder why you can't stop eating. That's what it does. And by the way, they changed it. Some things will say high fructose corn syrup, but they also now call it corn syrup. They changed that. It's the exact same thing, so beware of that product. So anyway, you just want to, if you go to the grocery store and if you look at the labels and read them, you could lose weight just by buying foods without chemical additives. I bet you could lose 10 or 15 pounds just by doing that if you actually read the labels. Now I will say, the food, unfortunately, the good food, the healthy stuff without the chemicals is more expensive. And sometimes I cringe when I go to the grocery store, but on the other hand, I just can't do it because I know that when I've eaten things like that with the chemicals, I don't feel good. My digestive system gets all messed up. It can give you headaches. There's all kind of chronic issues. And again, it's not good for you. And if I would eventually start eating that stuff again, I'm sure I would start gaining weight. But I don't. I do everything I can to avoid it. And the last thing on this video I want to discuss, because I will take you to the grocery store sometime and I'll give you an example on the food labels. But I want to say this about farm-raised fish. So when you go to the grocery store and you're looking for fish, that could be any kind, salmon, it could be haddock, it doesn't matter, and it says on it, farm-raised. I would not get that. I won't touch any farm-raised fish. And that's an example of what I said there on the paper. Farm-raised fish, those fish are taken out of their natural habitat, and they are raised in chemicals. They're in chemicals. So, they're not in fresh water, they're in chemicals. So what happens is, when you're eating that fish, that chemical stuff has seeped into the fish's body, and that's what you're getting. So, you're sort of defeating the purpose because you're typically eating fish because you know it's good for you and it's healthy, but it's not because you're eating chemicals. I won't touch farm-raised fish. I had learned that years ago, and I've not touched it since. Now, I will say, unfortunately, the other kind of fish, the one that isn't farm raised, it'll say it's in regular natural water, it will say that, is so much more expensive. But again, you have a choice. Maybe I don't eat as much fish as I used to because of that, but I will treat myself here and there, and I'm gonna get the good stuff because I just can't eat the other knowing what I know. So I just give you the lowdown on that. And you can't go wrong if you eat more natural foods. More natural foods, actually chicken, and eat the kind of chicken that doesn't have the hormones of the antibiotics in it. Or if you're going to eat red meat, don't eat the kind with the hormones of the antibiotics in it. Try to look for organic foods, more organic. And if you're going to buy foods that aren't organic but are natural, read the label. And so lastly, even if you're going to go for that sweet treat, that's okay. I eat sweet treats. Buy the one in the health section and read the label of it. And don't buy any sweet treats that have any chemical additives. I'll buy cookies. I'll buy some goodies at times, but I don't buy any goodies with chemical additives. Or go bake your own homemade pie with all the good ingredients, or your own homemade cake. Forget that box cake. That has so many chemicals in it. That will put a lot of weight on you, and it's not just from the sugar. So anyway, I hope I didn't burst anybody's bubble there, but I burst my bubble years ago, and I just had to make that change because I didn't feel good and I wasn't the weight I wanted to be. So you can do it too, and I'm going to take you in another video to the grocery store, and we're going to look at labels together. I'm going to show you labels. So until next time, oh, but I have my quotes, and my first quote is a William Shakespeare quote. I love him. And it goes like this: "It is not in the stars that hold our destiny, but in ourselves." And that means, again, what are you thinking about? How do you think about yourselves? That's what really counts. So there's a lot of power in that quote. And my other quote is, "Chance is the providence of adventure." That means if you like adventure, then that means in life, take chances, because you will then have an adventurous life. So until next time, I'll see ya.